Some brawlers have obviously broken mechanics. Spike's curveball removes all the skill from the brawler. Mortis's dash makes him both the fastest and most agile brawler in the entire game. And Grom's just broken. Generally, just everything about Grom is broken. But we're not talking about that obvious stuff today. Today, we're going to talk about the low-key broken mechanics that I think are too strong in the game. Let's get into it.
Ready for duty!
All right, let's start this video off with the brawler that inspired the entire thing, and that's going to be Buzz. Now, people would argue that Buzz is the most balanced brawler in the whole game because he's only actually received one balance change since the time he was released, so that kind of argues the fact that he is very balanced. So why am I going to put him on this list? Well, that's going to be because of one thing, and that's going to be the stun on his super. The hitbox on that stun is ridiculously big. You can stun multiple people, you can stun people through walls, you can even miss your pole, but if they're standing next to the wall, anywhere near it, they're gonna get stunned. It's ridiculous how easy it is to land the stun on Buzz's super. Now, I would never call for a nerf to Buzz. I genuinely like playing him, and I do kind of agree that he is a pretty balanced brawler, but because he inspired this video, and I do feel like the stun is way too easy to land, I gotta call it out in this video.
Let's go.
All right, next up, let's talk about one of the most unique mechanics in the game, and that's gonna be Rico's big bouncy balls.
What did he say?
Now, Rico's bounce shot mechanic is a core part of his kit. It's literally where he got his original name from, but I can't deny that it feels way too strong a lot of the time. A good Rico on the right map in the right position is going to dominate an entire game. It's impossible to get them out of lane. It just feels like you're fighting an uphill battle the entire time. The bounce shot gives him a good matchup against throwers and tanks if they try to hide behind the wall that he's defending, and he's also got a star power that pairs really well into this mechanic, giving him a damage buff when he uses it. And I say that before I even mention how strong his super can be. If you're hiding behind a wall and you're just trying to heal up or whatever like that, and he has that in hand, then he's just gonna bounce his big balls around the corner. They're gonna hit you right in your face and you're gonna die. Now, obviously, this mechanic's never gonna go anywhere. It's a core part of Rico's kit, but like I said, a good player on the right map is always gonna take full advantage of this. You're never gonna be able to get the upper hand in that matchup, and they're always gonna take you out before you can even round the corner to try to take them out. So I gotta call it out here. This mechanic just feels broken when it's used correctly.
Time to go to work.
Okay, real quick, before we get too far into the next brawler, let's talk about the idea of trading. Now, trading is when you go real aggro, you try to get one kill, maybe two, before you end up dying yourself. It's what your randoms are trying to do, but I think they forget the part where they're supposed to get a kill before they die. Now, trading is normally a tactic that's used to try to take out a high priority target, something like a healer on a double tank team, or something like a brawler that has a high star rating in bounty. You know, you go after that brawler to try to accomplish a specific goal to put your team in a better position. That's the idea behind trading. Now, I explained the idea of trading because when I asked my friend Wake what brawler mechanic he would put on the list, the first thing he mentioned was Jackie's Counter Crush. And that's because Counter Crush enables her to trade with whatever brawler she wants as soon as she decides it. Now, all a Jackie has to do to trade with somebody is run Counter Crush, have full ammo, and then use her speed gadget to run into their face. You're gonna unload all your ammo on them, they're gonna reflect damage back on themselves, and they're probably gonna die almost every time. Now, obviously, this isn't going to work on real open maps because you're going to take a lot of chip damage as you approach if the map is real open, but you shouldn't be playing Jackie on those maps anyway. But if you're playing Jackie on the right map and you make sure that you have cover on your way moving up, then you're guaranteed to probably trade with pretty much any brawler you want, like I said. Now, Jackie is far from the best brawler in the entire game. I'm obviously not trying to argue that point, but I will agree with Wake that the idea of trading is very useful in a mode like Brawl Ball when you can take out someone's defensive brawlers very easily, and Jackie having the ability to do that 3 times a game is very good at swinging a match if she can do it right.
Useful and mostly harmless.
All right, I also asked Ro what he thought about this subject, and the first brawler he mentioned was Eve, and that was for one reason and one reason only, and that's the fact that she can walk on water. It's a cool mechanic, and I love that it was added to the game, but because Eve is the only one that has access to it, she literally forms entire metas around her based on the map that's being played. A few examples of maps like this that I can think of are going to be Bridge Too Far, Canal Grand, and Acid Lakes. All 3 of these maps give Eve an advantage over other brawlers because she has access to this trait and they don't. She literally can't be hit by melee brawlers when she's on the water, and she has access to escape routes that other brawlers just don't have access to because of her trait. So while this may be one of our more subtle mechanics that we're going to talk about today, I do feel like because one brawler literally forms entire meta games around them because they can break the rules, I have to agree with Ro, Eve earns a spot on this list.
Safety last!
Okay, so for the last mechanic today, I had a couple different options I wanted to go with, but I ended up deciding on Stu's super recharge rate. If you've played Stu, you know that it only takes 1 attack to recharge your super from empty, and in my opinion, if any other brawler had that, it would be totally broken. In fact, we actually saw that when Stu first came out. Back then, his super was a lot better. He was able to knock people back when he charged through them, so basically any brawler he got close to, he was just gonna pummel. They had no chance. They were just gonna be stun locked while he was destroying them. He pretty much hard countered every tank in the entire game. I personally know how bad that was because at the time I was trying to push my BB to rank 25, and every time I saw a Stu, I just cringed a little bit. It was so bad. But since they removed the knockback on Stu super, it doesn't feel nearly as bad. It's a pretty low impact super. It's mostly used to dodge attacks and move up or away from people. So most of the time, it's really not going to have a huge impact on a game. Like, yeah, maybe you'll be able to burn somebody and it'll get a kill that way, but it's not going to get a whole team wipe like a Terra super or a Mandy super. So I'll admit, it's not the most broken mechanic that we talked about today, but that's only because it's on Stu. Like I said, I think if it was on any other brawler, it would be totally busted. The idea of cycling supers every other shot is just a very strong concept. And if it was on a more impactful brawler, we would definitely be crying for nerfs on it. And honestly, we're lucky that Stu did get nerfed because he would still be a dominant force in the meta. He would still be tearing us up. So thanks, Supercell. I'm glad you nerfed him. Anyway, those are 5 brawlers with low-key broken mechanics, in my opinion. Let me know what brawlers you guys would have put on the list, and if I get enough replies, I'll do a follow-up video to this going over your guys' comments. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. If you guys enjoyed my rambling, make sure you leave a like on the video, and if you're new, consider dropping a sub as well. But I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.